today I want to talk about something really, really practical. Productivity hacks. So I have two different methods of using your time more effectively. I don't know about you guys, but I am very good at procrastination and I'm very good at wasting time. And I'm very good at starting one task and then getting distracted and moving on to another task. So as a small business owner, as an entrepreneur, it can be incredibly difficult to plan out my week because I never know. Like 2 days always look different. And yeah, like I said, when you are your own boss, it's really easy to kind of lose track of what you're doing and time and all of that. So there are two different things that I've come across which really work for me, and then which I've tried out, which I have found very useful, and then something else which I personally came up with. Not that it's revolutionary, but I will share that with you, and you can see if it is useful to you. Okay. So the first thing I want to share with you is a thing called the Pomodoro technique. Let me know if you've heard of it or if you've tried it out. So the Pomodoro technique basically is about, you set a timer. So this is how it works. So you set a timer for 25 minutes and you pick your task that you're going to focus on. So let's say, I'll let you know like when I tried it out. So I was writing content for Mindset Membership and I wanted to really focus and not go off on tangents and distract myself doing research, going down the YouTube rabbit hole. And so I was like, right, I'm going to write the blog and that's all I'm going to do. I'm not going to distract myself. So you choose your task and then you set a timer for 25 minutes. And for 25 minutes, you put your head down and you do the task. So in my case, I started writing the blog. And when the timer goes off at 25 minutes, you stop and you take a 5-minute break. And you can time that as well to make sure you don't go over. And in that 5-minute break, get up, move around. So go to the toilet or make a cup of coffee or get a glass of water or go do some stretches. But stand up and move around and do something. 5 minutes. Then you come back and you set the timer again for 25 minutes. And again, head down, focus on your work, 25 minutes. Then you take another 5-minute break. And you repeat this 4 times. So you've done 4 25-minute sessions of work and 4 Pomodoros, which is what the breaks are called, 5-minute breaks. And once you've done that 4 times, then you take a longer break. So you get up and you have a proper break for 15 or 20 minutes. And then you start again. If your task, isn't done by then, or if there's a new task that you want to focus on. But I found this really useful. So when I was doing the blog, I would kind of get to the 25 minutes, the alarm would go off, and I couldn't believe it. I was like, but I've just gotten into it, type of thing. I felt like I could have gone for longer. But getting up and stretching and moving around and then coming back again, I felt it was much easier to actually stay focused. And I ended up doing it in one round type of thing. Whereas previously in the past, I've been known to procrastinate and take all day. So, this time I was able to do it in 4 of those sittings. So let me know, what do you think of that? I think the idea behind it is that knowing that the time is going to go off makes you a little bit more focused. So, you're like, I've only got 25 minutes. I want to put in as much as I can. So it really helps you focus. Pomodoro technique. Very cool. So maybe give it a try and see if it helps you with your productivity. So that's one thing I've tried. I wanted to share that with you. The other method, which I've tried out in theory, but I haven't really dedicated proper attention to, but I know many entrepreneurs who do, is called time blocking. And how time blocking works is in advance. So on a Sunday night, you would sit down with your calendar for the week and you would basically batch different types of activities into different blocks of time. So for example, for me, I might say I will do coaching in the mornings between 9 and 12. So between 9 and 12 in my diary, I block it out for coaching And when somebody is asking for an appointment, those are the times I will give them. I'll say between 9 and 12 on this day or that day or whatever. So that's that block of time. And then I might say, okay, and then at 12 I'll take a bit of a break. And then let's say, from 1 o'clock until 3 o'clock, that is on a Monday is my creation time. And that's when I'm going to create all my content for the next week. Okay, so I'm going to sit on Canva and I'm going to do my graphic design and all of that. Come up with my content. So I block off that period of time in my diary and I say that's for that. Does that make sense? So you kind of pick different activities and you put them all together. So like with the content creation as an example, every single day I can hop onto Instagram and be like, what am I going to talk about today? Let me quickly create a graphic in Canva and then put it onto Instagram and then write some copy about it. And that's going to take me a decent chunk of time every day to do that. Whereas if I batched that, in other words, I sat down and I did it for 3 hours, even 2 hours, I could get more done in that block of time than if I did it every day. It would end up taking longer. So that's a productivity hack, using time blocking. So on a Sunday night, you sit down and you block out the week ahead and you figure out, like, how do I want to spend my time? And the beauty with this method is that you can get into the zone. So like if you know that you need to do something that's particularly creative, rather than challenge yourself to feel creative every day, you can go, well, when am I usually at my best, at my creativity peak? If it's first thing in the morning, then you could say, cool, I'm going to block out this time till this time. I know I usually feel quite inspired. That's going to be my time to create. And you block it out and you get in the zone and then you end up doing it. So like for 3 hours versus like 10 minutes every day type of thing. So I think that's the thinking behind it, that you end up getting more done. So you get more out of your time. It also gives your week like a nice structure. So let me know, what do you think? Have you ever tried time blocking? Has it worked for you? Or is this the first time you're hearing about it? So we've got Pomodoro technique, we've got time blocking, and then we've got what I actually use most of the time, which is just my own way that I've figured out how to do it. And I must say, I'll probably bring in little bits of this and bits of that, but as a general idea. So I've got a master calendar, which is up on the wall just behind you guys, behind the phone, and it's a year planner. And then what I've done is I've kind of mapped out each quarter. So said like in quarter 1, first 3 months of the year, this is what I'm going to focus on. In quarter 2, this is what I'm going to focus on. In quarter 3, this is what I'm going to focus on. And in quarter 4, this is what I'm going to focus on. And then, so I've got this overall picture of the year. And then I break that down into quarters. So I've got this, which is, it's like a week planner. But it's a generic, like there's blank pages. And so what I do is I fill in the dates at the top, and it's got like Monday to Sunday, see there. And then I fill in my week like this. So I quite like to use pen and paper, as opposed to there's loads of apps that you can use to help you figure out this stuff. But I quite like writing with my pink pen on my pad. So I put in the dates, so I normally do this like a month in advance. So I've got my year planner, I break it down to quarters, and I break that down to months. And so what I do is for each month ahead, I fill in the dates. I fill in like the stuff that I know I do every single week. I fill in the social media posts. So like I used to do Motivation Monday or Mindful Monday, Testimonial Tuesday, Wednesday Wisdom. Like I used to do stuff like that. So I would write it down for each day of the week to remind myself like that needs to go out this day. Or I'd schedule it a week in advance if I was really super organized. But basically everything would be on here. And then, I would kind of work off this and I would use it as like a master to-do list. I'd do it for the month ahead. And then each week, of course, I would update it as things would come up. So, if I'm sitting down and I'm doing work, I know I can look at this and I can go, oh, I need to write my newsletter today. I've also got my calendar in Google, so it can get a little bit like you're just repeating things. But I put everything on my calendar in Google, like everything. I couldn't survive without my calendar on Google. But I like this in terms of figuring out what I'm actually doing. So I guess it's a little bit like time blocking, but yeah, my own little thing. But that's what works for me. And I mean, that's the point of all of this, is that everybody's different. All our brains work differently. So it's up to you to figure out like what is most effective for you. So let me know. I would love to hear if you have given any of those a try, or if you are planning to implement one, and then let us know how it goes. So there you go. Very practical today. Couple of ideas for productivity, to increase your productivity. Pomodoro technique, time blocking, and your own special mishmash of how you actually do it, like what works for you. So if there's anything I haven't mentioned that you find really effective, please do share it in the comments so that we can learn from your experience, and let me know.